Hi everyone, Ray from Pro String. You guessed it, another racket restringing tutorial. Very, you could say special racket, perhaps. Definitely an older one. It is the, let's see what it's called now, back in the day, Aero Pro Drive. So the Babolat Aero Pro Drive, 1619 stringing pattern, 300 grams, classic, definitely a classic. Always nice to see it when it does come in, but obviously there's not many of them left out there. Either people break them, or of course they just upgrade and sorry for the noise, then they just get rid of them. So as you can see on this racket, it clearly shows you the 3 loops. Can't go wrong on this one. 1619 stringing pattern, as I mentioned. So we need 8 strings to each side. Got 1 in already, so we need 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pretty basic stuff. Leave yourself a nice piece of string to reach a few inches, I don't know, 3 inches, 2, 3 inches, depending on, it'll all vary depending on what machine you're using, how far the tension head is. They're all roughly the same, give or take, but 2 centimeters more or less will make a difference in regarding to reaching the tension head. This client wants a balance of both power and controlled, so 55 pounds of tension. And we commence. 3 mains to each side, guys, 3 mains to each side, compensating your tension throughout the racket, stringing symmetrically. You don't want to add too much tension to one side of the racket and then the other. You face warping the racket, deforming it, breaking it. So a few things could happen there, or just have a poor stringing job if you get away with the mentioned. I did tell myself I wasn't going to do any more tutorials today. How many I've done today, I'm exhausted. I did go play some tennis. Just doubles though, nothing on a super fast court, so actually quite typical here in the UK to play on AstroTurf, which I had never seen before until I came to the UK. It's more used for football, so it's like artificial grass, which they use for football pitches or football fields all around the world. But it's something they don't use for tennis all around the world, interestingly enough. So our 4th main, as you see, I've just done 3 to each side. Check my camera. Yeah, we're good. It's been a long day, lots of phone calls, lots of rackets have come in again. Looking at about 50 rackets have come in today alone. We do have 5 different locations, well 15 that I know of. I believe there's been a few more dropped off in my other workshop. So maybe close to 20 today. It's unclear at this point, but yeah, roaming around that number. Which is cool. Which is definitely cool. So that's that'll keep me busy for the next few days. Well, I mean, not 20 in itself, but I am currently doing a racket from Monday evening. It was dropped off. They requested, so I told them that it didn't count as Monday because it dropped off so late. So it was actually, we collected it on Tuesday from one of our receptions. And they said they needed it without fail for Thursday, so that is classed as express service, £8 extra, 10 euros roughly, or $10 even. 6 to each side, guys. Now we finish off our 7th and 8th main. Up your tension 15 to 20% on your last main. I'm definitely playing with fire here. I'll show you why. I didn't leave myself perfect for wastage, but I mean, I reached the tension head no problem at all. But yeah, be careful with that. I did. Oh yeah. It wasn't intentional. But on the positive side, I'm saving string. But for the sake of 10 centimeters more or less, I wouldn't be fussed if I were you guys. I'm definitely not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip 1, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip 1, 8. Bottom and top are exactly the same. Not all rackets are the same. Some might have 2 you have to skip. Some bottom and top might be different, is what I'm trying to say. Up your tension again on your last main. Just a reminder, you don't need to up the tension on starting knots, guys. I'll do my Parnell knot. Love that knot. Love this knot, should I say? Alright, let me go back and do that for you guys. So I did that in fast mode, or just my normal automatic mode. You're going to go down and your anchor string, both sides on your 6th main. That's where you have a nice open grommet. Pretty straightforward, don't need to start opening up other holes with your awl. Your awl is this lovely device. Great for many things, and including screwing up your stringing job. Be very careful with the awls if you are going to use it, especially if you're not experienced. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. Full length of the racket, guys, including the grip, from the bottom of the grip all the way to the top of the racket. So very important that you do start on the right side here. You may or may not notice, but there's each loop, you have one, every other one is indented, let's say. So you need to make sure you start on the right side, so your crosses sit nicely on the grommets, nice and flush. So I actually need to check this myself, but I'm pretty sure it's on this side because the grommet is enlarged, but it's also enlarged on that side. So what I do normally is I just out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and then I just take a look, and that shows me that it comes back in, out my way. Therefore, I'm on the right side. To give you guys a better reference, it is on the yellow side where it says Aero Modular Technology. Yeah, it only says that on one side. One side has Aero written on it in white on the black background within the paint job. So there you have it. Start on the yellow side if you are encountering this racket. This string, guys, is 125 millimeters multi-filament string. If you've seen some of our videos, you might have seen it before. It is Pro String Pure Multi-Filament. It's our own home brand, which sells incredibly well. Quite sticky though, sometimes on our first few crosses. Has a very unique outer coating, which avoids fraying until right to the end, unlike, for example, Technifiber X1 Biphase, Wilson NXT Power, those two especially. I'm not a big fan of strings fraying that much, so this is one of the reasons that when I did my testing to choose to see which multi-filament we would choose, this is why I decided to stick with this one. There was about 5 or 6 different models they offered me in the factory in Austria. Should be able to pull through a bit quicker on the next few crosses, but guys, just take your time, regardless the type of string. All right. I think from this third one should get a little bit easier. It is getting a bit easier, but still, just careful. I'm always in a rush, but not in a rush at the same time. think the lucky loser that played Djokovic yesterday, was it? Is playing now against Tommy Paul. So guys, support that string. The string that you're actually pulling, support it, yeah? By just slightly pushing up, ever so slightly. Don't need to do more than just give it a little push upwards, or just even, in fact, just hold it. Hold it in place. My fingers are falling to pieces. Stringing can be a bit hard on the hands sometimes. My hands are used to it. However, when the weather it does get a bit colder, my hands seem to crack. Not that bad at all. However, I have been in much worse situations. A few weeks ago, I had a paper cut. Yeah, anyway, whatever. Oh, it's actually still there, full of crap. Interestingly enough, skin, because I'm stringing all the time. And replacing grips. I mean, this grip in itself on this racket was disgusting. I mean, disgusting. So I get my hands full of crap sometimes, and I just struggle to get it off. Doesn't matter what I do. It's like a mechanic. But yeah, the paper cut on that index finger was annoying because I had to use my middle finger to weave the strings, which is not my main finger to weave with, but it's okay. Got through it, like we always do. Some string leaves a tiny bit of residue sometimes. Alright, almost up to 3/4 of the way on the racket. I was just thinking again, okay, I won't do another tutorial tonight. But I have a racket here in the background, a head radical that I haven't done a video of yet, and it's come in a couple days ago, so I'll take full advantage. I know it'll come back, and it'll probably come back tomorrow from somebody else just to bite me in the culo. Yes, culo, bum. I don't want to be too rude. Bum is culo in Spanish. Sometimes, right, you think, oh, I might not see that racket for a few weeks, or God knows when. Murphy's Law, they say, right? Stringing one in front always, guys. One ahead as well, also known as. What that means is I'm always weaving my second string because it makes life easier. Just for that matter, which for me is more than enough. If it's gonna make something easier, at least I'll definitely use it, which I always do it regardless, tennis, squash, or badminton rackets. Doesn't matter. Makes this weave like I'm doing now, just makes it easier. I'm not saying you're going to weave the string like that just because you do that, but I mean you will, hopefully, if you practice enough. Remember guys, this is like everything. Practice is perfect. I mean, I've attempted to teach a few people, friends more than anything, free of charge and all that, seeing if they want to get into it. Good tennis players actually, in fact. And they pack it in after a few rackets and that. This is not for me. I'd rather pay somebody. So, but I mean, I believe that there's a certain amount of patience in every job. However, this one is definitely testing your patience constantly, because it's just over and over and over and over again. I repeat the same things, just to different people as well, about strings. What string suits me, what string suits you, what tension. Okay, grateful. Be grateful. I am grateful. I think I am anyway. We all have our moments, right, guys? Anyway, coming up, we're not far from finishing, probably 5, I guess. Yep, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So, probably 3-4 minutes away from completion. Get rid of our leftover string from the knot. I've got 2 garbage cans in here and they're both overflowing with string and grips and all kinds of stuff. Once upon a time, my dad said, son, if you have a business or job or at work or whatever it is, if the garbage cans, the bins in the UK are full, that's always a good thing. It means it's busy. Business is good. Empty bin, You want to see those bins full every day. You're taking out the garbage all the time. Guys, where are you watching from? Drop us a little comment. Really want to know where you guys are, where some of my audience and subscribers are watching from. I've only just started getting into these stringing tutorials. We're now coming up to the last cross, guys, but you can see it's much more difficult once you get to the bottom, especially if you're not stringing one in front, like I have been until now, but I just didn't have enough string, which is quite common for my last one because just the way I measure my strings, 7.5. Make sure you don't leave too much on the knot, but that will come with practice as well. So maybe leave yourself 8. Maybe I'm saying it in the wrong part of the video, how much leaving your crosses. The 7.5 will definitely get you across the line. As you can see, we've got 50 centimeters maybe. 50, is that 50? 40? Anyway, give or take. Alright guys, our Parnell knot, there's not much space here, I'll tell you that much. There we go, got it though. It's a bit tricky, so I'm doing it on the finishing knot of our crosses on the second last cross string, yeah? Just FYI, in case you haven't caught onto that. Pop, pop, and chop. Right, you can decide to straighten your strings wherever you want on top of the machine. I prefer to do it off the machine, as I'm about to do now. Hopefully there's not much moving around to do. That always indicates you've normally done a good job, at least keeping your strings straight. But if you're keeping your strings straight, it normally means you're on the right track. Whew. Wow. Sounds like a board. 55. Okay. There you have it, guys. Beauty. This is I remember the days when Nadal was winning Roland Garros with this paint job. Babolat Aero Pro Drive, guys. Aero Pro Drive. Take care, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Happy stringing, as always. Bye-bye.